Funny how heartbreak works. You think losing someone will destroy you, but sometimes it's the exact moment you finally meet yourself again. Morning light inside my window, coffee dancing in the sun. There was a time I woke up crying. I would wake up trying for fun. Your name used to feel like thunder, echoing inside my chest. Now it's just a passing whisper, floating somewhere with the rest. I remember how I waited for a love that never grew. Somewhere in the breaking I discovered something new. Turns out hearts are stronger than the stories people say. Sometimes losing someone is the first step on your way. I thought the world would end the night you walked away, but the truth is my life was only just beginning. I found my way back to me, back to the girl I used to be, back to the dreams I almost forgot, back to the fire inside my heart. I found my way back to life, dance alone in midnight skies, and then suddenly the world feels wide, because I'm finally living my own life. Yeah. Music playing in the kitchen, barefoot spinning on the floor. Yeah, every little broken memory doesn't hurt me anymore. I see colors in the morning, I hear laughter in my soul. All the love I gave to someone finally made my spirit whole. I forgive the past completely, every tear and every scar, because the girl who walked through fire now knows exactly who you are. But more important than that story, more important than the pain, I know exactly who I am. I found my way back to me, back to the strength I couldn't see, back to the woman I was meant to be. I found my way through the night, through every shadow and every fight, and now the sunrise in my eyes, it feels brighter than it's ever been. It's like some women fall apart, some women rebuild, and some men turn heartbreak into freedom. Now the city feels electric, like the future's calling me. There's a million open roads, and every one of them feels free. Maybe love will find me someday, maybe not, and that's okay, because a girl inside the mirror finally chose her own way. I found my way back to me, stronger than I used to be. Every broken memory turned into my melody. I found my way into the light, where my heart can finally fly. And if love ever comes again, it will meet a woman who already knows she I thought losing you meant losing everything, but the truth is you only walked away with your shadow. My light was always mine. Morning sunlight on my ceiling, dancing slowly through the air. There was a time I woke up broken, now I wake up without fear. Your name used to feel like thunder, every echo shook my chest. Now it's just a quiet story, like a dream I once possessed. I remember how I waited every night beside the phone, thinking love meant staying loyal, even when I felt alone. But the girl who cried in silence isn't living here tonight. She walked out into the sunrise and remembered her own light. Oh, funny how the heart can shatter and still be stronger than before. You didn't take my life, you didn't take my life, you didn't steal my flame. You walked away from something that will never be the same. You didn't break my heart, you didn't set it free, you only set it free. Because the love I gave to you was always part of me. And now I'm dancing through the night, like the world is finally mine, my life. You didn't take my life. Music playing in my living room, barefoot spinning on the floor. All the tears I cried for someone don't belong to me anymore. Every scar became a lesson, every fall became a road, and the weight I used to carry turned into a golden glow. I see the woman in the mirror, standing tall inside the sun, and she doesn't look like someone who was ever truly undone. Love can leave without a warning, but it cannot take your soul, not if you remember who you are. You didn't take my life, you didn't take my life, you didn't steal my fire. You only walked away from something rising higher. You didn't end my story, you didn't shut my story, you just closed the chapter door. Now the girl who once felt broken is stronger than before. You thought you were my ending, but you were only my beginning. Now the city feels electric, every street is calling me, and the future looks brighter than it ever used to be. Maybe love will come tomorrow, maybe love will come tonight, but whoever walks beside me will meet a woman who already knows she You didn't dim my sky, the stars were always waiting for the moment I would rise. You didn't steal my heart, because the love I carry has always known my name. Some people leave thinking they took everything, but the strongest women know the light was never theirs to take. Somewhere in know when it heartbreak, letting go and learning self-worth. Thought it heartbreak, letting go and learning self-worth. She likes fading in. Your side of the bed is colder, but I still whisper your name. There were nights we talked for hours, dreaming cities we would see. Now the only voice remaining is the echo inside me. I replay the smallest moments, how your hand once held my face, how the silence slowly grew between every warm embrace. Maybe love was always fragile, maybe time just pulled the thread. All the words we never finished still are floating in my head. And everyone says you should have left sooner, they never saw how hard I tried to stay. I stayed until the silence hurt, until the quiet felt too loud, until the love we built together felt like shadows in a crowd. I stayed until the lights went dim, until the warmth was almost gone. I kept hoping you would notice I was breaking all alone. I stay, 'cause love once lived here, and I didn't know how to let it die. Your coffee cup still on the counter, like you might come home tonight. And sometimes I swear I hear you walking softly past the light. Friends keep telling me I'm stronger than the story in my chest. But strength is just a lonely word when your heart won't let you rest. I wasn't blind to every fracture, I could see the cracks appear. But love makes architects of women, we keep building through the fear. Brick by brick of small forgiveness, hope inside a fragile frame. Every time you pulled away, I stayed exactly the same. I stayed until the silence hurt, until the air began to freeze, until the dreams we once protected felt like ashes in the breeze. I stayed until the last goodbye, until my voice could barely speak, until I realized loving you was slowly breaking me. But love is strange, it doesn't leave all at once, it fades like sunlight leaving a room slowly, quietly, until one morning you wake up and realize you're the only one still holding the door open. Now the midnight feels different, there's a softness in the air, like my heart is slowly learning not every love is meant to stay there. I'm still healing from the echoes, still untangling the past, but somewhere in this quiet I am breathing again at last. someday love will find me with a gentler kind of flame. Not a fire that burns my spirit, just a light that stays the same. I stayed until the silence hurt, but I didn't disappear. Somewhere in the breaking, I found the strength still here. I stayed until the story closed, until the night released the dawn. And though the love we had is over, my heart is still moving on. Some women stay too long, but sometimes that's how we learn what love should never feel like again. No one talks about the quiet kind of heartbreak. The one where you don't scream, you don't fight, you just slowly disappear inside someone else's life. The house is breathing softly in the quiet after two. Your shadow on the hallway wall still looks a lot like you. Your jacket on the old chair, your books beside the bed. 1,000 tiny memories still living in my head. I used to count the hours until you walked through that door. Now I count the reasons why you don't come anymore. Love was never violent, it just faded like the rain. And somehow I kept smiling while drowning in the pain. They said love should feel like sunlight, but sometimes it feels like fog. You keep walking forward even when you're already lost. Somewhere I lost myself loving you. Somewhere between hope and goodbye. Somewhere between waiting too long and telling myself another lie. I gave you pieces of my silence, pieces of my fragile truth. And when the love began to vanish, I was still holding on to you. Somewhere in the quiet night, somewhere in the tears I hid, I forgot the girl I used to be. Before your love did what it did. We never had the screaming fights, no shattered glass or blame. Just two tired hearts pretending nothing really changed. You stopped saying I miss you, I stopped asking why. Two strangers in the same room, learning how to lie. You said you needed distance, said you needed space, but space became an ocean I could never trace. Still I stay beside you, like the moon beside the sea. Even when the tide was slowly pulling you from me. Somewhere I lost myself still worth fighting for. But the hardest part of leaving is not the broken path, is the quiet realization you stayed long after the love had already left. Now the nights feel softer, like the storm is finally past, and the girl inside the mirror is slowly coming back. She remembers how to breathe, how to laugh without disguise, how to walk into the morning with forgiveness in her eyes. Maybe love will find me later with a gentler kind of flame, not a fire that slowly fades, but a light that stays the same. Somewhere I lost myself loving you, but somewhere I found my way. Somewhere in the broken pieces I begin again today. And though your shadow sometimes still returns inside my mind, I finally understand now. Real love never asks a woman to lose her safe, just to stay behind. Some women break loudly, others just quietly become someone new. There comes a night, there comes a night in every woman's life when the tears finally stop, not because the pain is gone, but because she finally remembers she deserves more. The city sleeps outside my window, neon trembling on the glass. Your ghost is walking through the hallway like a memory from the past. Your voice still lives in quiet corners where my heart used to believe every promise that you whispered, every reason not to leave. I stayed through every cold December, through the silence in your eyes, through the nights you stopped pretending, through 1,000 small goodbyes. Love can make a woman patient, love can make her blind with grace, but tonight the truth is rising and I finally see your face. You were never really leaving because you were never really here. Oh, so tonight I choose myself in the quiet of the rain. I release the love I carry through the heartbreak and the pain. Tonight I close the door softly where your shadow used to stay, not with anger, not with bitterness, if I could have held you longer. But love should never feel like begging. Love should never feel like fear. And no woman should feel smaller just to keep somebody near. I built castles from your silence, turned your distance into hope. Every time the truth appeared, I just learned another way to cope. But tonight the air feels different, like a storm has cleared the sky. And the woman in my reflection is no longer asking why. Tonight I choose myself over every broken dream, over every quiet promise that was never what it seemed. Tonight I breathe a little deeper, like the weight has disappeared, and the love I gave to someone else is finally turning here. Yeah. Maybe you never meant to hurt me. Maybe you were just a man who didn't know how to stay. But I was a woman who stayed too long and forgot she had wings. Now the night feels almost gentle, like forgiveness in the air. And the future isn't frightening when your heart learns how to care. Not for someone who is leaving, not for someone passing through, but for the quiet girl inside you who is always strong and true. Maybe love will come again someday with a softer kind of flame. But tonight I'm not waiting, I'm